Hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to a last episode of the year. Really, it's kind of weird that we actually are at the end of the year. 2023 went by pretty quick. If you don't know, this is an independent creator podcast where we talk about the alternative platforms of, PeerTube, Owncast, all the different stuff that are completely different from the mainstream kind of platforms like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Discord, and the like. We usually go in the weeds in different directions and sometimes, but tonight we're actually going to take a different approach. We'll look back actually what happened in the past 300 and something odd days, right? Whatever. How many days are usually in the year? 365. This is what, 340 something. I don't know. Math is hard, and I'm not going to hurt my brain this late. All right. So yeah, we're going to take a look back actually at, there's actually been a lot of stuff that's happened within the alternative platform kind of universe, really the Fediverse, if you want to go into that route as well. That is a lot of interesting things have gone on, really. We've seen the continuing migration of users from Twitter to Mastodon, the implementation or opening of Blue Sky. There's been Threads. There's just so much has been going on really in the past year, really, that if you look at it, it's kind of weird that we've gone so much in such a short time within about a year. And there's so much movement on like updates for like Owncast, updates for PeerTube, and all sorts of stuff like Matrix and all sorts of different things like that. So we're going to take a look at a couple different things tonight's episode, kind of close out the year and closing out the year 2023 and exactly what has gone on this past year, and look at some things that might be happening in the future for 2024 and on. So let's actually take a look at the first thing, which is going to be Owncast. Now, Owncast is, if you're watching this on our Owncast channel at indiebasement.live, it's a open source, self-hosting or do-it-yourself kind of live streaming, not really service, but platform, really. So one of the things, actually two different things happened, is that we got our first update to 1.01.0. And that is actually was a big thing because we were working on the platform, and there was a lot of things that are coming up that we're looking forward to, and when they released, it was kind of like, holy crap, this is a game changer, really. And of course did a video on that where it was kind of like, this is the big stuff that you need to look into and a lot of stuff that's been changed. So let's actually gonna bring over now this one is Owncast version 0.1.2. This was just recently within the past month, where it added a lot of stuff that log IP addresses when stream keys rejected. Don't let people set private IP addresses as a public URL. Fix typos, chat user leave events, and so many different things. But let's actually take a look at one of the first version of this. Go back to, what was it, 0.1. And this one was released, when was this? May. Back in early May, so long ago. Yeah, 3201 is the best. Gabe is sweet for having done that. Yeah. Which one was that? 3201. I'll have to look at it later. But this one was like the major push to do a lot of improvements that Gabe and everyone else had been working on for quite some time. Oh, that was the user leave chat. Okay, for totally. Yeah, there's this one 1.0 was the big one. And this one gave us is to make it easier to work on and contribute to the code. Let's see, appearance customization. This one opened up a lot of different things for people like myself. I'm not really schooled into the actual coding of a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but this one gave it where you can actually use it, write your own CSS to make your Owncast server instance your own thing. You can change the colors and all sorts of stuff. You could have done that before, but you required where you had to use or know HTML and CSS. I'm sorry, HTML. But you can do this without CSS because it gave you those handy dandy color blocks that you can change the different things on. So that was another big thing. Custom emoji, chat colors. And this is another thing where added in like the different chat message colors that you can change. Where as a viewer, you can change your color of your name. So you can also, selection of colors can be customized via the appearance customization page. Additionally, as an admin, you can change a set of colors available to your users to match your preferences. So if you want the people coming in watching your stream and only to have access to, say, 3 to 4 colors, you can change that as an admin, or you can have them all, whatever color you want, right? You can also write HTML for external action buttons. Have in the button that is in there right now is to a Steam link where you can add a button that you can set for either to a website or you can put in custom HTML. It's either or. You can and you can add multiple buttons as well. So you can have like I have like this week's game. When I was doing first 2 hours, you can put that in there. It has a direct link into the Steam page for that game that I was talking about there in that 1 week. And you can set up another button to do something completely different, like a HTML sign up form or whatever that you can think of. Built-in Twitter notifications have been removed because at that time it was Twitter was continuing. It was we were seeing the writing on the wall because that's when Elon Musk had bought back in previous November of 2022, bought Twitter, and then the wave of everybody going away from Twitter to Mastodon and other points north. So, and here it was also where Gabe and everybody that was working on Owncast decided, you know what, let's take out Twitter because they had killed the API. So it was kind of a useless feature that it's like, why have the code in here? It's just taking up space. Let's get rid of it. So you can also get the updates. You can allow hiding viewer count. So if you don't want people knowing how many people are watching, you can turn that off. Admin page for customization, mute embeds, providing HTML instead of a link for external actions, webhooks for stream title change, and so much more. Because again, that was version 0.01 or 0.1.0. Excuse me. And then, of course, over the past couple months, they had some more changes, some more updates. We had option to prevent search engine indexing of Owncast pages, clean up of old stream segments in the S3 buckets, preload custom emoji images, use VA API hardware decoding and scaling, pop-out chat button, which was a great thing. Because before you would have to, you can still do it. You can do it embed of your chat. So I think it's like your URL / embed external, something like that, where you have to have the actual URL of the actual chat part of Owncast. So there's all a couple different things on that one is and chat site. This was 0.1.1. was chat is now resizable, and there's a convenient way to get the pop-out chat window. People who are using object storage for their streams will now finally see their segments get cleaned up automatically by Owncast without having to configure lifecycle rules, and a handful of other fixes that should improve glitchy chat performances, which I had a lot of people were experiencing this, where if you had a chat message come up and the same person chatted, put in another message, and again, what would cause the chat to do a stuttering or like a stuttering effect. And this is kind of, it was annoying, and you had to refresh the page, and sometimes that would clear out, but not all the time though. So luckily that was all taken care of, and now we're on 1.2. which is, we get to stop service from running if you're using pre-installed image. Change the directory where Owncast is installed on your server, which is pretty cool. If you've customized your web interface in any way, you will want the backup files. That's upgrading. Never mind. Oops. Okay, no, this log IP addresses. Don't use the external API registered chat display name. And chat user leave event. That's that was what you're talking about. ETY was 3201, which some people would love to have that capability to see if someone has come into chat, and also if they leave the chat. I just noticed that as well earlier. But you can have this on or off. Simply go into your admin webpage in your Owncast instance and change those out. Now, there was one other thing that a lot of people were actually seeing a higher increase in people looking or actively seeking out Owncast and what actually it is capable of to do for live streamers and other content creators. Because throughout the whole year, there was a lot of controversies coming around, especially with Twitch. And just recently with Twitch is artistic nudity implementation that they roll back like a day or two later, because it's like, oh yeah, we didn't expect this to happen, even though everyone was telling you that would happen. So a lot of people are actively seeking out a means of controlling or taking back control of their own content, not only by creating their own websites to put their actual content on and their actual work, and then sharing out from there. I've talked about that in the past of starting up your own website, post up your blog on there, or your video files, or your audio, or your images, or whatnot, and share out from your site to other social networks. So it's a good thing to see that there's more and more people are becoming more aware of alternative platforms like Owncast and Peertube as well. Peertube is actually had released their version 6.0, I want to say it is. I was trying to look it up here, and what they included a lot of changes into what you can do with your Peertube instance. Now, it's not as easy to get started as Owncast, but it does provide a way that you can take back control by setting up your own kind of YouTube-like website, your own YouTube server, where you can post up your videos. Instead of posting up on YouTube, you can post up on your own Peertube. So there's a lot of stuff that has been going out here. I had the link, and it's not. Where is it? GitHub. Yeah, Chocobos. I think I'm probably butchering that name, but if we go to releases 6.0, go to this one here. So this one, it was a big update, just like how Owncast had their 0.1 update. Peertube had their 6.0, where they included a lot of stuff that you had. Let's see here. So you can have add password protected videos. So if you want to have a video that is password protected, you have that capability now within PeerTube. You can do video storyboard support. So automatically generates a storyboard on video upload or imports. Viewers can see the image around the targeted time code when hovering the progress bar. Add ability for users to replace their video file. Now this is a big thing. You can find my videos and a lot of other stuff that I do within the Indie Creator Hub space on Tilvids, which is a PeerTube instance. And this ability to replace your video file when something's already been uploaded is a capability that you can find on YouTube. But the only problem is you won't have that ability unless you're part of the YouTube Partner Program. You can't just be a new channel and say, oh crap, I put up the wrong video. As like myself and many other people that are not part of the partner program, we would have to delete, re-upload a video. Here, you can be able to replace a video file with an update page. So you have the entry of your video and you just update it with the newer updated version. So you don't have to do any of the stupid delete, re-upload, copy and paste the description, keywords, title, thumbnails, and stuff like that. It's all behind the scenes, and its capability is part of the PeerTube instance from the get-go. So you can also do video chapters. Video chapters is a great thing that is for anyone who's watching a video to easily get to the particular part of the video that they're more interested in. That's if you have set up the chapters. That's on you as a creator uploading your videos. So it's something that you have to think about. Let's see. Also, a better video player. It's more efficient, so you don't need to rebuild the player every time the time the played video changes. Improved SEO and video link sharing. They also fixed client accessibility and keyboard navigation. Improved remote runner management. Added the ability for admins to force transcoding on a specific video, even if it's a broken state. So that's a lot of great features that they've added. Lazy download remote video thumbnails to reduce storage, and download video file directly from S3 using pre-signed URLs. And it just gets better and better for the PeerTube community. Now, I did a live stream where I installed a PeerTube instance or server. It took about 2 hours. Again, I'm not the most up-to-date and knowledgeable as running these type of services. So I believe there is a group that's out there. I saw on Mastodon that had made an easier way to install. It's like a package to install PeerTube on your own server. I have not worked on that yet. I haven't really got around to doing that, even though I said this like a couple months ago that I was going to do that, but I never got around to it. So I think in 2024, I'm going to at least attempt to try out their implementation of a install package and see how it goes. So we got 6.0.1. It fixes some bugs, fixes CPU going to 100% on odd CPU count. There's a couple of other things. Point 2 was fixing the upgrade when PeerTube is installed outside the standard path. Fixing importing videos with too long chapter name. Don't create chapters from description if there is only one. And a couple other things for like the hardware side of things for on server side. So PeerTube has been, again, just like Owncast, has been on a heightened awareness of people coming into the Fediverse to figure out what can I do to get my stuff away from YouTube, because YouTube has been implementing or is starting to implement some rules and some regulations on their actual platform where against ad blockers. And it's something that, we kind of saw the writing on the wall that they were going to be doing this, and it's getting to a point where it's like it's not socially feasible to, as a independent creator, to post our content on YouTube when you're being served up so many ads constantly on the service. And it's kind of detrimental too, to think about it, that as a YouTube content creator posting on my videos to the service, I don't have access to the ad revenue, even though YouTube is pushing ads into my content. I don't see any kind of kickback to me saying, "Hey, I created this content that is you're watching on YouTube." Now, I could say, "Hey, yeah, that's the thing with a free service. It's part and parcel of the agreement, right?" But the bad thing is that they're putting ads on my content. I'm not seeing any kind of monetary value coming back to me, even if it was like pennies on a dollar. Still, a little bit of something would help out, but I don't see that. That's why going to like Tilvids or Peertube or Owncast, it's kind of taking back your control of the content they're posting out there, and you can monetize it, no problem. You can have a link in the descriptions of your Peertube videos that you put out there. And also there is monetization available, that you can have a button on your video player or your channel page that leads to like your Patreon or to your Ko-fi or wherever that you have a donation page or a tipping page, any kind of monetization page set up. Same thing for Owncast. You can set that up as a link to, again, Patreon, Ko-fi, or whatever. And there is an open source. I'm not going to say open source. I believe it is open source, but it's a Fediverse kind of. It's a LibrePay. I think I'm getting that right. Where it's very similar to how like Patreon or even like Stripe works. Yeah, LibrePay. And I'll show you here. It's where you can set it up. It's a it's an open way to set up donations, and you can have people give you monetary value of your content. You can also set up your payment processing. So they support processing payments through Stripe and PayPal. And let's see, is run transparently by a nonprofit organization. Source code is public, and rely on your support to keep LibrePay running and improving. So you got multiple languages, teams, multiple currencies, pledges, integrations to your accounts on GitHub, Twitter, Mastodon, and 9 other platforms. You can also easily list on your profile the repositories you contribute to on GitHub and GitLab.com. So there's options. There are so many options out there now that it's kind of getting to a point where there's too many options, really. And we saw that with if we go to the Fediverse side of things, where alternatives to Twitter. We saw the rise and fall of T2 when they renamed themselves to Pebble, and I believe it was within like 2 months. It was very short after their renaming to Pebble that they posted out there that they are shutting down. And it was another alternative to Twitter. Same thing with Blue Sky. Mastodon is still continuing to lead the charge of the actual open source, open platform, federated network for, social media, social networking, to, get together with other like-minded people that you don't have to worry about a large corporation dictating what exactly you are supposed to be putting out there. And if you put something out there that is deemed, not to their liking, at least you have the capability to move your account to another server if the admin decided, not going to have this running anymore. So you have a lot of options, and it's very freeing, really. And just recently, I've been on all the alternative platforms lately, like on Blue Sky. I'm on there. I've been on Threads, but just recently on Threads is I decided to open it up one morning, and it said, "Oh, enter your phone number to log back in." I'm like, "What? I've been on Threads since they started, or publicly, a couple months, and now you want my phone number? No, I'm sorry. I like to minimize the amount of times I'm posting my or putting my phone number out there. So it's like, okay, I'm no longer on Threads. If you don't want it, fine, screw you." And I'm perfectly fine on just Mastodon and Blue Sky. I don't need Threads. I like Threads because it gave you the like how Twitter was back in the days. It's the early starts. It was kind of like all the, not really the early starts, but it was the midway point of Twitter, where you had like all the brands and it had a lot of people there. But as it's like, it's just rubbing me the wrong way when it says, "Oh, we need your phone number to log in." No, you had my information from Instagram. Oh, Instagram now requires. Oh, well, I guess my account is held hostage until the end of time, because I'm not going to give you my phone number in order for me to delete my account. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. So, oh well, it's so sad. You had great potential, but you decided to screw it over, and well, that's what you get. So, I'm very comfortably, perfectly fine on Mastodon. I love Mastodon. Mastodon has been continually to have more people come over. Same thing with Blue Sky. Blue Sky is still on the invite system, but it's growing. It's very Twitter-esque how it feels, how it's you're immersed into the world. And looking back at it is kind of say that its growth has been hammered down a little bit because of the invite only system. Now, again, like I said, I keep mentioning Mastodon because it's since November of last year. It's been continuing. It's been going on for like years and years prior to everything that's been going on with X Twitter, and only from last November it just exploded onto the scene, where pretty much almost everybody was talking about Mastodon. And of course, you have some people saying, "Oh, it's too difficult. I can't deal with this. I have to actually work. I can't have my hand held to figure out what I need to look at." Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. Yes, there is some difficulty for some people who are not comfortable with that, but you know what? It's getting better. I think more people are starting to come across that line that, oh, I actually do have to actually do some work. We've been for what, a decade and a half, almost 20 years of this stuff, people growing up and only knowing how to do Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, and to also to have them within the ecosphere of Mastodon and Owncast and Peertube, and it's just kind of like they're kind of lost in the wind, really, which is a shame, because they kind of lost those skills of how to deal with it. And it's pretty much on us as a community to not make fun and not to belittle them, but actually say, hey, if you want to actually try this out, give it a shot, we can help you. More than happy to help. So we need more and more people like that to say, if more people coming in and posting up, I can't do this. This is too confusing. It's like, okay, let's take it back. Let's take it back a couple steps and try this. and then try to work your way through the process of going through Mastodon. And I can see going into next year, 2024, we're going to see more and more people that are completely new, have no idea, and more of them are going coming into Mastodon, and we'll see some more posts like that. But again, like I said, it's on us as a community that are already here. We know what to do, or have a higher understanding of what to do, and show these people coming in. No, it's not as scary as it might seem. Those postings on X Twitter or Facebook saying Mastodon is the devil's work. If you go in there, you're a sinner or whatever. I don't know. I was just pulling out some kind of over exaggeration, but it's kind of, I see more people going to Mastodon, and even more people are probably going into Threads or Blue Sky, because those are more of the how Twitter is for them, with somewhat of an algorithm, but it's just the user experience for people who don't want to do much. I don't take this the wrong way. They don't want to do too much thinking. They just want to be shown a product and say, oh, that's great. Yes, no, like, and go from there. And I can see some more people diversifying more into the live streaming as a PeerTube or Owncast, because I think more people are starting to see that not Twitter, but Twitch is kind of, it's not on its last legs. It's kind of, you have to diversify. You can't just stay on one platform and expect, people to show up. It's not going to happen. It hasn't been happening for the past couple of years, and more than likely from going forward from now is even more detrimental if you just stay on one platform. And I think live streaming on these platforms like Twitch is going to be detrimental as long as you don't have a presence on any other platforms like Livespace or your own cast. If you don't want to go through, and I don't want to deal with having to run my own server and stuff like that, that's fine. Because there's services out there called Livespace. There's another one that is just getting started. It's actually opened up in beta. It's called SharePlay. Excuse me. SharePlay. It's options that are available to you. You're not just stuck to Twitch and YouTube as your live streaming platforms. And yes, you do have the option of Kick, but me personally, I do not feel comfortable trying to even set up anything there. I have streamed there before, but it's more of like a they're trying to be like a Rumble, but portraying themselves as more of a Twitch, and they're kind of diluting people that are coming in and say, "Oh yeah, we love you, everybody, come on in." But even though the poster children of Kick are some of the lowest degenerates of the live streaming space. You get Manchild 1, and you got Manchild 2, and then other man-children, and homophobic and misogynistic bigots and stuff like that. And they want to be more of a free speech, and that's perfectly fine. It's just like, hey, if you want to be like, be open source, or not open source, but open free speech, just own it. Be like Rumble and say, yeah, we have a lot of nut jobs here and a lot of right wing people. That's who we are, right? Just own up to it. Don't try to pretend that you're something that you're not. So that's the reason why I don't really mention Kick all that much anymore. It's just gotten to the point where it's just like, it's not really worth my time, because it works off of Amazon IVS, which is essentially what Twitch is running off of, and it's essentially a copy of Twitch. And we try to go from not Twitch to more of alternative platforms like Owncast and LiveSpace and SharePlay. It's just kind of like move away from that type of situation. And I'm not going to say that LiveSpace and SharePlay eventually will be like Twitch, because they're far from it. No one's, if you really think about it, in the past year, we've seen the overall decline of Twitch year over year. Yeah, they had a great spike in 2020, of March 2020, when COVID lockdowns all happened. Of course, no, it's kind of like a non-starter. But ever since then, it has been a steady decline of viewership and people who are live streaming to that service. And even now, with the amount of ads that Twitch wants you to run, I looked at the last time I looked at my Twitch creator dashboard. They want you to, of course, this time of year, December is like notoriously, or it's not notorious, but it's like a huge ad buy for advertisers and promoters and everyone in that kind of market to run as many ads, because it's Christmas, it's holiday season. But they want you to run at least, what was it, 7 minutes of ads per hour. And that's kind of ridiculous for a live stream. And I'm like, I was for the past couple of months, I had the ad, what they call it, ad scheduler. It's an ad manager, or ad scheduler, because I had to set it up for 3 minutes of ads per hour. It's just to get rid of pre-rolls. And I was thinking to myself, it's like, well, if people are coming in to my stream on Twitch in the middle of an ad break, they'll get, even after I've already set it up to run 3 minutes of an ads, if they come in like halfway through or 3/4 through, they will still get 3 minutes of ads. It's very confusing, but they get a full 3-minute block of ads every hour. And I'm like, was that really necessary? I was only getting like maybe 15 cents each month. It's not really worth it. But I did that because that's what Twitch wanted you to do. But I was actually providing an option. It's like, hey, if you don't want to watch this ad filled stream, come watch it over on my Owncast server or on LiveSpace. And I was also where was it on? I was also doing it on YouTube as well. But it's kind of like I was running it as an experiment. But it's just, I can see that ads are going to be pushed a lot more going forward, because this has been a slow ramp up in this past year of, you need to run more ads. If you're a live streamer on Twitch and you're monetized, we really want you to run ads. But don't run ads if you're a under 25 streamer, but we want you to run ads. So it's just kind of the damned if you do, damned if you don't. And if you decide to say, hey, take me off of the affiliate or partner program and get rid of monetization, well, you also lose the channel points, which are tied into. And that's the thing, is like, why are you tying this into monetization paywall? And I was never how would I frame this? I was never a big fan of that. I was thinking of channel points as something that to say, hey, if you are watching my stream and you want to play around with these channel points, they don't mean nothing. It's just something fun to do. But you won't have access to it unless you become monetized on Twitch. So I decided to go back to affiliate and put all this stuff back on. But I really don't focus all of my attention on Twitch anymore. It's for almost 6 months now, I've been solely focusing on my Owncast server at Indie Basement, the other places like YouTube, and also now with LiveSpace, and now adding in SharePlay. I'm pretty much how I'm tiering this out is Owncast server, LiveSpace, SharePlay, Twitch. Twitch is on the bottom. for this podcast and anything I do for Indie Creator Hub is I have a Twitch account, but I don't use it. I'm not streaming on Twitch right now. I'm streaming on just the 3 platforms: YouTube, Livespace, and my Owncast. And that's perfectly fine. I'd rather have a little bit more control and have a less ad, or have a ad-free experience for potential viewers. And it's just something that I like, to have for people. And if you want to pass a couple dollars, I have links everywhere if you want to do that. Help out an independent creator. But really, it's just, I see the growing trend over the past year of more people looking into controlling their own content, whether by websites or, live streaming platforms like PeerTube, which also has video hosting capability, but it also does live streaming. Or if you want to just do Owncast, where it's a little bit. Let me put it this way: I put Owncast over PeerTube, not just because it's a more simpler and more streamlined, but it also does exactly what it's built to do. It's a focused product to do live streaming, and that's perfectly fine. If I want to do video hosting, I'll go with PeerTube, because you can't do that with Owncast. Owncast is a live streaming service piece of kit. That's all it does, and it does it quite well. It's not a jack of all trades, master of none type of situation. So it's kind of great to see these focused built services that you can utilize for free. All you gotta do is just take care of, if you have the hardware, host it on your own hardware, or you pay a web hosting or server hosting like Hetzner, DigitalOcean, or Linode, and go take it from there. But the software is free. It's open source. So I like to see this happen more and more coming into 2024, is to see more wider adoption is great to see. Yeah, PeerTube is great for VODs, but I think Owncast beats it hands down on the live side. Yeah, I know Corey Taylor. He's an artist that does a lot of live streaming through MakerTube's PeerTube instance, but he also does live stream through Livespace. But yeah, VOD's another video. And they do the video hosting is perfectly capable on PeerTube instances. It's a little bit more if you don't have the knowledge, and it's kind of like a what's the term? Like it scares away the normies. Going through puberty there, but yeah, it scares away the normies because I gotta create a server, I gotta start that up, and I gotta install it. I don't know what to do. Just give me YouTube. And they go back to YouTube, unfortunately. But I can see a lot of work has been done or is being done to kind of streamline the installation procedure a lot more. An Owncast is perfectly capable of, video live streaming. That's why I love Owncast. And now, if people are looking for alternatives, I kind of steer them, because I have a bias towards Owncast. Yeah, the PeerTube instances, which federate widely, scare people off with unusual content more than the learning curve. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they look through the PeerTube listing, when they try to find searches, yeah, not to say the content is bad by any stretch, but it's not what normies are used to seeing on tube surface. Yeah, it's just something that, as a general rule, as a general public view, is that YouTube is very highly biased of what you watch and kind of puts you into a silo. So if you only watch one particular style or segments of content, and you're only going to get fed that particular adjacent kind of style, it's not going to open up your worldview to many different things. Yes, there are some uh, left and right kind of thinking on the PeerTube side of things, but that's your choice. It's like you don't have to. You can steer clear of it. But I think a lot of it is it's not as bad as Rumble. Rumble is another video hosting site, but it's geared more towards has a right wing slant to it. But it's just something that, as a federation of federated services, we kind of need to have something in place to kind of broaden the amount of, let's say, genres. Really, is this something that I know that they're probably working on, and it's something it takes time. PeerTube is relatively new coming into. I know they've been working on it for quite some time, but in normie sense, it's a bad connotation to say normie, but it's just something I can only think of right now. But in a normie sense, is that, oh, this is stuff like weird conspiracy people or right wing MAGAs and stuff like that, and I don't want to. That's all PeerTube is. And I've seen that couple different postings on Mastodon. That's what people are referencing. PeerTube instances is that they'll have a hard time trying to find something that's not right wing centric. So it's something that it's a battle address, but it feels a Semitic. Yeah, I know it's a bad thing to say, but it's kind of like it's a catch-all term. But yeah, it's just something that I know PeerTube is consistently trying to work on, and who's to know? 2024 and 2025 might see a shift into expanding the federated servers that are a part of the PeerTube network to allow more eyes on wider genres. And that'd be something that'd be great to see. And same thing for Owncast. If you're looking for different sections or different live streams, Owncast actually does have a directory that you can go to. It's directory.owncast.online that you can see other live streams that are playing right now. That's if they allow that they hit the switch to say, yes, put my stream in the directory when I'm live. And there's a lot of places here. It's like, oh, I know this person, Indie Basement Live. I know that guy. You got Vincebot, Retro Strange TV. Owncast has their it's like a what Owncast is capable of. It has a lot of testimonials and stuff like that. So if you want to go through here and look at the what's live at that current moment, definitely give a look to directory.owncast.online. I'll put this link as well in the description, so on the podcast episode. So if you're looking into something like this, definitely check it out. Now, I do want to make a point that a lot of us with the Owncast community are actually trying to get together. We've somebody in the community has put together a newsletter that they just sent out last week. No, this Tuesday. This week. No, last week. I'm sorry. I've had like last week I had off completely from work, so my days are kind of like screwed up. But definitely check out the Rocket Chat community over on Owncast. Join up. I'll also have this link in the description. I believe it is on the YouTube, but also put it into the podcast episode show notes as well. There's a growing community that we're just getting started, and would love if you're very interested in learning more about Owncast, check out the owncast.rocket.chat server and join it. It's not just for support. It's actually anything to do with Owncast, and would definitely love to see some more people come in there and to give their 2 bits and to sign up for the newsletter too. The first newsletter was awesome. A lot of great information, and it's every month, and definitely sign up. And there is on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, Federated Radio is conducting a lobby host of multiple Owncast servers, kind of like a New Year's Eve party throughout the whole day and throughout the evening as well, throughout time zones and stuff like that for New Year's. So definitely check it out. Again, it's all here on the Owncast community. But that's going to be it for this episode. If you also want to join a great community, join up thisindiecreator.com. It's our forums. We do have a newsletter that I send out monthly as well. That's also came out this past week, talking about all the latest stories that in the past month. Anything to do with alternative platforms, like I said, Owncast, Peertube, Gilded, Matrix, forums, software, because we use Envision Community, anything to deal with independent creation, as well as indie game development as well. We have a section there for the indie game developers, and would love to see more of them come in as well. But do check out thisindiecreator.com, and remember that if you're not here during the live taping or the live studio audience, every Tuesday at 9:30, not every Tuesday, but every other Tuesday at 9:30, this is probably going to be the last episode of 2023. I believe. I don't know if there is another. Let me get my. Nope. Next episode is going to be next year, because next week is Christmas holiday week. So if you are practicing or you observe Christmas or anything else, Hanukkah, whatever, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all sorts of other stuff for you. Enjoy the next week, the holiday season, and I'll see you into the next year. I'll see you next year. I know that's a really bad dad joke, but yeah, you'll get used to it. I have a lot of bad dad jokes anyways. But until next time, I'll catch you on next year's, and we'll be doing more alternative platform looks and talking more about independent creators here on the Independent Creator Podcast. Been your host, Josh, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.